Howdy YouTube, Eznix here with a video for you, a little update on the Ezarcher project. I respun the ISOs a few days ago and I decided to give the Gnome desktop another try. So included in this release of ISOs is an ISO for the Gnome desktop. This was built with the just recently released Gnome 48 packages. So you have the latest GNOME desktop in the Ezarcher form. We have Cinnamon, GNOME, KDE Plasma, LXQt, Mate, Xfce desktops. SourceForge is the home of the project. Files are all located in the ISO folder dated 2503. The ISOs are all hovering right around 3 gigabytes. Now, SourceForge does calculate the gigabyte size a little differently. I think it goes by strict decimal, strict for gigabytes, so you have a slightly larger numbers here. But they're all between 2.7 and 3.1 if you measure accurately binary. So GNOME is coming in, are discovering it. I have 16 downloads already in 3 days, not too bad. The rest of them are all built on the same software during the same period, same day actually. So all of the versions are identical outside of the desktops. I'm going to take a look at running the GNOME desktop Archer ISO here. I already have it almost ready to go in VirtualBox. We have a virtual machine with 4 gigs of memory, 2 cores, EFI enabled, 256 megabyte video memory set aside, the standard VM SVGA driver in box, and we'll see what we can do with an installation. We have a virtual drive of about 53 plus gigabytes in size. So let's go ahead and start up the virtual machine here. We can minimize that window and let it boot up. The boot up and shutdown are nice and quick usually. GNOME is a little heavier starting up. So live is user, live is the password. And before we log in, a quick peek in the choices here. We have GNOME, GNOME Classic. These are both on Wayland. And we have GNOME Classic on Xorg and GNOME on Xorg. We'll just go with the Wayland, see how it looks. The GNOME ISO is the only ISO that I did include a different display manager, GDM, as per GNOME's desires. GNOME does come with a little tour. We're going to skip that and just go right to the desktop. So far, so good. Looks like it should. Let's move this up a little bit. I know my picture is going to be in this lower corner here. Don't want much of the screen hidden by my lovely face. Okay, let's see what I included. So we have a lot of the GNOME standards. I did include Abbey Word, that is standard on all of the Archer ISOs as a word processor. I'll Riot software, doing that for Solitaire. What utilities are here? We have FileRoller, passwords. These are all standard GNOME utilities. GNOME system, I do include GNOME disks. I did include GNOME tweaks. I do include sysprof. interested in system performance. Parental controls, I don't know if that's new in 48, but it's certainly a nice little feature. We do have console, and a little later in the menu, there is terminal as well. Not sure why there are two. Audacious, that I include in all of my shows. We do have cheese, CMake, deconf editor, dictionary extensions. EasyMate is my own little Arch maintenance program. We can take a look at that in a moment. FileZilla, I always like to have GUI FTP program. Firefox, a browser installed, the firmware tool, Gnome for light programming and editing, ghex for binary file editing, numeric for spreadsheet, departed grsync htop. Install system is the Calamares Installer. Run that in a moment here. Meld for comparing files and directories. MPV media player. Print settings, I do include the full cups and and print backends. SM player, I always find that useful for players, video player. Time shift is included in all 6 ISOs as well if you'd like to use it. Transmission for BitTorrent client. And then volume control, Xterms. X is installed even if you don't run it. It's still there. Okay, let's go back and start the installer. Password is the user password, so live. And it is version 3.3.14, the most recent at the time of building my ISOs. Calamares. America Phoenix, pick the right region, right keyboard. Let's do erase disk, swap, nation, and let's go with BTRFS. We can encrypt the system, but I choose not to most of the time. There we go. Install, install. And let's make sure it gets off to a good start. No errors right off the bat. Doing the partitioning, mounting, and filling up the file system. Very good. Now that that's running, let's take a peek back over at maybe SourceForge. We can also look at my other download site, Internet Archive. If you do a search on archive.org, under my name or EasyArch or Ezarcher, my projects show up. Ezarcher 2025.03.22. Same release that's on SourceForge is also here. We have ISOs, all the files, the tar files with the projects files in them, templates, the package build files, all the ISOs, and the screenshots. So 2 places to go get Ezarcher. Haven't had a review in a while. Last review was about a year ago, but very positive. And I do reply, positive or negative, to review. Not all reviews, but some are, especially when they're this glowing. Very nice to get that kind of feedback. Screenshots are here as well for the latest release. You can join a discussion. We do have some topics that are going, basically just user questions, very specific user questions, but you can add general questions as well. I do check this regularly and I will respond. So that is means for any discussion or support. Support should just go right back to discussion. And files. The project files are always here as well. Latest versions. Templates are the now six build template tar files with each of the desktops. And we'll take a look at that in the running system as well. Package builds are the package build files and built packages for Calamares, CPU comp, which is a keyboard component, mkinit OpenSwap for opening swap on a Lux encrypted partition, swap partition. Downgrade, I find useful at times, not recently, but it is useful at times. Horizon is the AUR helper I decided to include. It is Perl-based script AUR Pacman helper, so that's always been very handy, very few problems. Very similar command structure to Pacman. And then some of the more recent Relling config files, some of my own scripts, documentation, the install guides, and the install scripts. The guides are step-by-step how I install Arch from wiki steps, the Arch wiki steps, and the scripts are bash versions of my guides. You duplicate the guides, I scripted them in bash. So they're very basic. They don't give a lot of choices. They set up the system the way I like it to be set up. Take a quick peek how we're doing. Okay, we're still filling up the file systems, but we're getting close. Getting close to the point where it's going to start jumping much quicker through installation steps. Hopefully it won't mind if I take a little sip. It's getting a little dry. Maybe you got a little ASMR there. Ah, there we go. Bring locales, generating RAMFS with KDE. I know there's some popular Arch-based systems out there, EndeavourOS and Garuda are the most popular that have switched over to Dracut. I personally don't like that. I prefer mkinit CPIO or standard Arch. It's more well documented in the Arch wiki, and it's more easily assumed to be what's in use with most Arch users. Easier to get help, tips, tricks, what have you. We are almost there. Bootloader unmounting, and we are done. We're off. I like how it doesn't count down, but it does, I think, in the background. It doesn't tell you down. Shuts down nice and smooth. Let's go ahead and remove the ISO. Boot up the installed system. Just did that to gate the timer in effect, or disable the timer. Okay, let's boot her on up. This is the installed system. All my ISOs come with the LTS kernel. The LTS kernel at the moment is 6.12.10. But I'll have to check. I think it's 6.12. 6.12.19 to be exact of ISOs. And there we go. Pin our password we chose during installation. We'll leave it on the standard Gnome on Wayland option for starting up the desktop. Seems to work fine in the live environment. Seems to work fine now. Skip the tour, and here we have it. On every one of the ISOs I include, comes up here, an Ezarcher folder in the home folder on the live and the installed system. In this folder, we have all of the documentation, the build templates for all of 6 desktop ISOs. As I said, the KG build files have an empty repo folder and all of the 5 package build files for the different programs I mentioned earlier. So you can choose to rebuild those if you're building your own spin, of course. Documentation. In documentation, there are a couple of documents you might want to look at. Grub update hook. When grub updates, grub install and grub configure are not run automatically. You do have to do that if you want to apply the updated grub package to hard drive. I include a grub update hook. Is opened in Abbey Word. Open them. Something else here. There we go. This file, grub update hook, tells you how to create a Pacman hook that will run a script, grub install.sh. The contents of the grub install script are right here. This is already in the USR local bin folder, so it's ready to run. All you have to do is create a hook to run it. What it will do is it will apply grub install command and the grub mkconfig command properly on your system each time the grub package is updated. We also have a how to install Virt Manager correctly, general README, auto cache cleaning to keep your package cache clean, same thing, how to create a hook, and the hook will run pack cache and clean all but one previous copy of the packages. It'll keep your package cache relatively clean. A couple things you really should be doing. Every other maintenance issue, maintenance practice, take a look at the Arch Wiki, take a look at the Arch forums. That's where you're going to get your information. So there you have it, folks. Ezarcher Gnome Edition out in the wild. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoy my Archer project if you seek it out. SourceForge and archive.org. Have fun, take care, stay safe. See me in another one, folks. Bye-bye.